Majima is literally the best type of chaos one could ask for when coming to an anime story that's with a villain that's trying to tear a system down. The pure chaos this man inflicts, it's such a interesting conversation to have because most of what he does, you're like, damn, he really should be punished for that. But after everything I've seen with the DA and everything like that, I'm here for the chaos. Yes, there's characters involved with the DA and everything that I'd like to see make it, but the whole system just ain't for me. And to see the way he's going about exposing what seems to be the biggest conspiracy this entire group of people will ever experience in their lifetime. I mean, we have footage of girls with guns, and the fact that he's bringing up so much logic. 3,000 people being disappeared a year. Wonder what that could be. Maybe they killed them. I mean, obviously he's framing a lot of things to make it look a lot worse than it actually is. I mean, he's actually himself probably causing more damage than they probably will all year, but you can really see how he's getting his message across and how just that brilliant directing choice of the one guy, just random civilian, looks like he has a bag of groceries, but he also has a handgun. And when that is, revealed to him, he shakenly grabs and fires, and then she fires back. Doesn't look good from their point of view. It's just a crazy situation in general, as you casually end the episode in the most badass way possible. I mean, the fact that talking to a character whose entire goal was to get back to this DA and just basically go back to her original life, the fact that she willingly turned around and abandoned it, which there's no way she gets hired back. I mean, it's a matter of even if they exist when this is all said and done. The fact that Chisato was more important to her than any job or any situation that she once had. And her come crashing in after he's doing this amazing, almost Daredevil level kind of attack combo because he blinds everyone because he closes up the windows, and with him being someone who can hear things very well, obviously complete disadvantage for Chisato, someone who relies on seeing things where he can just feel things around him. Such a badass way to end the episode, and with 2 left to go, it really feels like this show's gonna go out on a bang. As it stands, everything that I think people were expecting and hoping to see with a second heart, I mean, the briefcase was the most likely kind of scenario or place that it could be, but even if it wasn't there, it was entirely possible they've developed other ones that are outside of wherever it is they're currently at. And I love the fact that, like I was thinking, I mean, with technology, with how quickly it jumps, I mean, there's no reason not to think they would have built or developed a technology that was better than a 10 or 20 year limit. So things are looking good, even though chaos is currently happening, and this is their last chance to save Chisato. The only way that I could see this going depressing at this point is if someone like Takina ends up taking a bullet or something, and it looks like her heart's gonna fail, and they use the heart on her or something, I don't know. But all things considered, I still think my idea of Majima almost being the big death and potentially even other stepdad over there who basically got shot in the chest, but also we didn't really see how bad it was, so it'll be interesting to see there. But in terms of big deaths, it does feel like Majima and him would probably be the biggest ones tearing down the organization, and obviously we'd go from there. But it does feel like they're building up to a good finish line, and I think, honestly, I'd argue my favorite point in this episode was actually Kurumi, and just the whole hacker bit. Because something that I don't believe I've complimented about this show, but it has impressed me pretty much ever since she was introduced. Usually when you have those very smart hacker characters, you'll see a computer, you'll see them typing, but you never really get a good understanding of what it is they're doing other than a couple of quick visual glances. But I would argue Kurumi's one of the rare cases where her advanced technology and the way she goes about dissecting or analyzing things, yes, it's mostly on a visual side that they show us these things, but when she's sitting on the plane trying to figure out, she's basically looking at skeletons and then she cross-references that. Just the train of thought of how she got to the moment to realize there was a second heart, I thought was the attention to detail to a hacker character that I don't really see in anime too often. Hell, I don't really see it in most stories with hackers. It's just they hit a keyboard really fast, and obviously we know they're not doing anything, but that's the visual representation they go with. But I honestly feel like it's easy enough to see what's happening, and it's not just one thing, she types on her keyboard and a billion things quickly happens on her screen. She's basically using a VR headset, and she's analyzing, and then it goes to this thing, and then it goes to this thing, and it just feels like a way more elegant, less convoluted than you're typically used to with these hacker characters, and it goes a long way to make you feel like, oh, they're not just there to be that smart character, they're useful and actually have a personality beyond just being that kind of robotic smart character. And I mean, just the fact that she's such a troll, this girl's about to go to, I think she said Vancouver, to see her boyfriend, and just the fact that, oh, hey, it's your long-lost daughter, and just dragging her along, making her push her on her briefcase or her suitcase there. Just some great stuff there, and it really just makes it feel like there's hope after feeling like it's been so dread-filled, and just it feels like the group, after almost being separated for potentially ever, are now coming back for that last hurrah, and if it all works out, I mean, they might not have to separate, all things considered. I still hope Majima tears down this organization. I just don't like the concept of keeping civilians out of the dark on so many things. It's different if it's like top secret classified military information. I'm glad average Joe Blow doesn't know about that. But in terms of if there's crime in your neighborhood, it doesn't sit well with me. Like I said in last week's video, like at the start, it kind of felt like maybe it was a fake paradise that could work. But even though Majima deserves to be punished, and I hope he gets to like 90% of his plan, I hope he does ultimately end up getting taken out and basically stopped before too many people get hurt. But it's just hard after seeing both sides, feeling like there probably isn't another way to go about this, it feels like. If this was reality, of course, everyone would have a different tune, but when you're watching a story that's definitely trying to make you feel conflicted about the moral consequences and how essentially the DA and these agents are basically playing God, it's hard not to at the very least say, I kinda get why someone would lose their cool, and why they would look at characters like Chisato, gotta be like, hey, you're just like me, you don't like playing by the rules, and I don't like people telling me what I have to do with my life. It's a very interesting end goal, and I really think this show, which started out as a pretty damn great show, all things considered, I think if you look at the first few episodes of the show, it's a consistently enjoyable, solid show, but it really feels like episode 4 or in that area onwards, it's been a steady climb, man. It really feels like the production is held up, there's constantly good animation with set action. I mean, just the whole concept of, like, using bodies as cover fire. The fact that there's, like, legit tactics that make sense for Chisato, like when she basically is almost in the dark, she pushes what looks to be, like, a bookcase, a shelf of some sort, so she could take cover. There's a lot of little moments that if you add them all together, you can really take a step back and say, damn, this actually feels like it was choreographed by someone who understood what a gunplace type action scene should actually look and feel like. If you give them this almost superhuman level elements where you have Chisato being able to like deflect and basically dodge all the bullets. You have Majima who can hear like Daredevil in the dark sort of a thing. So it's really cool to see how they feel superhuman without going completely superhero with it. So like there's an enhanced human element in a very believable, grounded action sequence, which honestly this show could have easily jumped the shark with its more supernatural elements. But I feel like it's a pretty grounded show, all things considered, with just a hint of anime elements that just spices it up to be less boring than if they didn't have those elements, right? All things considered, after nearly a month of doom and gloom, it felt like things were not looking good. It's nice to leave an episode feeling hopeful, even though I imagine Majima will still have a couple of acts, a couple of tricks up his sleeve that will cause some chaos. Even if all our central characters get out of this, I mean, the world I don't think can go back to normal, even if they scrub the footage clean, as even Majima says they will. It feels like society is about to enter a turning point, and for that, maybe that's where season 2 could come in, just showing the aftermath and how maybe they could adjust to a new style of system, right? But great episode. It's exciting to see where we're going with the finish line. It's a little disappointing because we're reaching the finish line, but damn, it feels like it's about to go out on a bang. So thoughts and feelings, theories if you got any, leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you're new around here. Until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.